Like a Rick Perry press conference.
I remember, reading the script for the first time, and reading this character of Donnie, and for most of it thinking, I don't want to play this part. Just couldn't figure out why anybody would want to be this guy. Until the end, when we're up against the nihilists, and Walter is so protective of Johnny, and I just found that really moving. And then I got it. It was like, the Skipper and Gilligan thing like that. That's what that is. And of course, my favorite scene of mine, I'm not even in. It's one like the Ashes. I was the best bowler. I was.
I can't hear you.
Oh, what's
The huge accent here. It sounds like Yankee Stadium. Cheeto. Derek Cheeto. Wake him over.
What springs to mind when you think about making a big event?
It's the most fun I ever had working on a film. I would come to this on my days off. That's going away for me. It's just the whole spirit of the thing. I loved it so much. I didn't really think about it being released or anything. I just loved doing it that much. From the first time I read the script, and so I said goodbye to everyone.
Juliet? I mean, your character, it seems to be so much about the vocabulary she uses. And was that clear when you first read the script? Did it really pop like that?
Yeah, I mean, I love the language, and I remember I read it and I thought, okay, I know how she talks. I can figure this out. And first time I did it, Ethan was like, I like that, like boarding school accent that you do. And I said, yeah, it's not an accent, it's an affectation. That was like really the most important thing for me, that she be, a particularly affected character. Yeah.
For me, yes.
I remember when Joel and Ethan were writing the script, they weren't sure that Jeff was going to do it, and they were worried. They were worried if Jeff. White Russian. And they were worried that if Jeff didn't do the film, it would be no good. And they kept saying, we're not sure Jeff was going to do it. And they kept telling me that I was going to have this part. And then when I read it, I said, oh, this is very small. Not very much there. He said, yeah, but you can do something with it. So. Sort of, it's very close to my life. No, I had done a public theater, and Joel saw me in it. And I think I kind of gave him the idea. And, but I'm just, you know, I'm happy to be in the film. Even child molesters have feelings.
First day you showed up on the set, and you were just hitting the wrong thing, you were just there one day, and look at the ball is gone. Well, I'm showing that hot pink jumpsuit.
That was a good costume.
Huh?
You know, all actors have to credit their costume, so that was a good costume.
Mary Sophie.
And the ball polishing is yours, correct?
I was just fooling around and I was showing it to Ethan. And Ethan said it was really horrifying. You know, that's the idea of shining your own ball. Really, I don't do that at home. I'd like to.
And what about you, Timo? There's a lot of, clearly the script mentions a lot of music and a lot of bands. How much freedom were you given in terms of forgetting the music?
Absolute freedom.
So were cues in the script?
Several were, you know, Hotel California was. I mean, Ethan and Joel are pretty good at music. Yeah, Bob Dylan was there, and me.
Mood Dog.
Oh, yeah, Mood Dog came later. They were in there, yes, sir. And so was Creed, too. They were, I mean, it was
And have you ever had a reaction from Dylan or Creedence or Metallica or anybody? I know there's no Metallica on the
I have. I really have.
And how did you just talk briefly about how you met Jeff in the first place? Because it was a while ago.
Well, we were on Heaven's Gate in 1978 or something like that. In Kalispell, Montana. So when we went up there, I went up for 2 or 3 weeks to do some music, and we ended up there for 6 months. And we play, that's what we did all the time. You know, play music. Very little shooting.
And you just produced his album. It's now 33 years. Is that a usual pre-production schedule?
No, it worked out. I hope the next one doesn't take 33 years. I can say that.
And why did it take so long for you to release a record with that, Jeff?
Say again now.
Why did it take so long to release an album?
Yeah, I went out about 12 years ago. In between that time and now, I've been busy making movies, basically. And this record was interesting. The actual cutting of the tunes, there are 10 songs on the album. We cut 17. We did, 17 songs in a week, you know, basic tracks. So that part went very quickly, got quicker than you wanted it to go. And then, you know, there's the tweaking and the polishing and the promoting, some long big commitment. It looks like making a movie, you know. So I took a year off of the movies to go.
And when did you realize that Big Lebowski had become? I mean, it wasn't a huge hit.
No, you know what I'm talking about, Will and Scott. Are you out there, Will and Scott? Yeah, man, you guys did this fest thing. I mean, that's when I said, wow, this is what's happening. Now, this is my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys were at some convention, it was a very boring convention, and you thought, what kind of weird convention did we come up with? Is that basically the story? Yeah. What was the convention? No, you can't say it now. A tattoo convention. Are there any tattoos in the basket? Huh?
Steve, when did you realize that the Big Lebowski had become this force of nature, as it were?
You know, I haven't smoked pot in like 20 years. I feel like I'm smoking. I guess people would come up to me on the street. It was about, but it was really like a good 5 years after the movie was released. And then I would always get these like young, usually guys, come up to me and say, you're dumb. We've seen that movie like 5 times. That's pretty good. But then the next year it was like, we've seen that movie 10 times. And I didn't believe it at first. I go, no, you didn't really see it 10 times. Now I believe it. Now I believe it. But I have to say, people, I really thought that line, shut the fuck up, Donnie, that most people are pretty respectful. They don't yell at Jimmy Adams. But I'll always, you know, no one can say it like John. That's the thing. Sit there and just read a scene with these two, and I just go like this, and I go like that. I say one thing, and you tell me to shut up.
And John, when did you realize that it had become this cult?
A couple of years after, there were just people accosting me on the street. More than usual. I would see bodies with the actual voices instead of just your voices all the time.
How quickly do you think you can get us a toe at this point?
What?
Could you get us a toe at this point today?
Yeah.
Julia, when did you realize? When did you realize that it had become a scuffle?
It was the same kind of thing, you know. You'd walk down the street and somebody say, hey, you're in my favorite movie. You'll never guess what it is. And I go, The Big Lebowski. They go, oh, man. And then you pass another person on the street, they'd be like 19, 20, and they'd say, oh my God, you're my favorite movie. You're never going to guess what it is. It's The Big Lebowski, man. So you just kept hearing it, and people would say the same thing. You know, they'd watch it 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. It's the only movie they'd ever watched.
And Joe?
I think I knew it. I actually have gotten a lot of sex mail. Women and men about things they want Jesus to do to them. I get a little exhausted. But I've gotten a lot of that. I've got a lot of sex mail. Sometimes you guys are involved. But yeah, I got a lot of, you know, yeah, so. You know it, baby.
Well, you know, there was something about this movie that spoke deeply to musicians, you know, and so we got it very early on. Every bus traveling around the country had Big Lebowski on a loop, approximately.
And, I mean, have you ever had the reaction from the Coen brothers at all about...
There are no brothers. They do not exist. The Coen, yeah, the Coen brothers. All of them are. I'm sorry, what were you saying about
but have you ever spoken to them about, you know, the success of the cult phenomenon of Big Lebowski?
Oh, yeah, we just made a movie recently, True Grit, together. They're the best. They're the guys, but they really know how to do it. Like the approaches are very similar. You know, some directors just make it so easy. That's like, as an actor, that's what I look for. You know, guys who create the environment for you to cook. You know, they get the good guys to come together and do it. And the Coen brothers are like that. They make it seem like if you went to visit the set, you'd say, oh, they're not doing it. Yeah.